Oh, the game leapers, mate. What's going on, guys? This is Coach Cheeks. In today's video, the 15 most broken champions for 13-14. Dude, so much has changed today in this patch from last patch. The nerfs and buffs, so many new champions, bro. I'm actually joking. It's literally like the same meta, guys. Kind of, well, a little bit disappointing. I want to see some of these really OP champions just kind of giving other champions the limelight for a little bit, I guess. But hey, these are the facts, and I'm going to give them to you in this video, so make sure you stick around for the whole thing, of course, to know who the 15 most broken champions of 13-14 are. And of course, guys, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts on this patch, let us know if you're enjoying it. Are there any builds out there with kind of like the new items getting buffed and obviously some old ones getting nerfed? What about the champions you play? Did they get buffed? Like, how did they feel in this patch? So leave your thoughts down below. And of course, if you want to master any of the champions we mentioned in this video or in the game itself, we have the learning resources for you. Champion courses, champion guides made by challenger players, even some high elo VOD analyses. Everything you need to perfect the game, we have it on our website, GameLeap.com. Check the description comment section. GG, well played. So let's get into the 15 most broken. Number 15 is a mid laner who didn't actually get touched this patch, which is good, for all you Nico mains. So this is in Emerald Plus, by the way, guys. Is anyone E4, by the way, or E3? It sounds really weird saying it, eh? But yeah, anyway, Nico in Emerald Plus in over 3,000 matches thus far. She has over a 52% win rate and is classified as S+ tier. Every champion I mentioned in this video is S+ tier, so let's get that out of the way with first. But Nico is still banned in over 12% of games, which goes to show that people still think this champion is strong. And again, the win rate shows this, because with Rocket Belt, Sorcerer Shoes, and then Shadow Flame, the champion still does so much damage. Decent in lane, amazing at team fighting, of course. So if you're a mid laner, guys, and you don't have Nico in your pool, I still think you should pick her up because she is a very versatile and strong mid laner. Now, saying in the mid lane, if you want to play one of the strongest attack damage champions in the mid lane, statistically anyway, we have Akshan. So in close to 4,000 matches, this dude has over a 52.3% win rate. Reason why Akshan is so good at the moment is because with the new Kraken Slayer and in the mid lane, most of the time you're going to be going up against, mages, so you can run something like Wit's End, the new Ginsu's as well, giving you AP in this, because as Akshan, lots of people don't know, you have AP in your kit. That's why, like in the past, we've even seen Sorcerer Shoes Akshan, which you can still go with Ginsu's, a real threat. So because of those things, Akshan mid lane is still performing at a very high level. He's number 14. Now moving on to number 13, we've got to go all the way down to the bot lane here, and one of the most versatile champions and supports in the game. This is Rakan with a 53.3% win rate, and he's picked in so many games. He actually has one of the highest pick rates here, so over 16%. There's only one other champion in this list, by the way, that has more games. So in close to 18,000 matches, to have that win rate, that is absurd. You can blind pick him, you can counter pick him, and you can also see on this visual here that his counter picks, there are only 5 that apparently do well against him. And to be honest, you can beat these easily. Maybe the only one you're really scared of is something like a Rel. Janna would also do very well, because when you W in, you never really can, because Janna just presses her Q right, you get knocked up, but you always have your E to kind of like get out. So you're a very slippery champion, and you're great at pretty much everything. Engaging, peeling, and of course when you go something like Shirelia's, you have the movement speed to gap close, and just force team fights super hard. So Rakan, great support to pick. And like most of these champions, if you don't have them in your champion pool, you're probably trolling, right? Now moving into the jungle for the next 2 picks here. The first of these is a champion whose armor has been buffed recently and movement speed as well, this being Nidalee. Now Nidalee in Season 13 has received multiple buffs, which I don't really agree with, because when she's piloted by the best Nidalee players who are going to max out this champion, man, she is so oppressive. So the ban rate in Emerald Plus might be 16.4%. But if we were to change this to something like Master Plus in Korea, let's say, it's over 50%. That's how oppressive this champion can get when you really max out her mechanics. So again, guys, if you want to play this champion, I think she's amazing. You can check out our website and we will teach you how to play this champion, clear camps, actually fight, how to use your abilities and all that stuff. So because of all the buffs in Season 13, and even before those buffs, she was still a very good champion. Nidalee is kind of off chops, and to have a win rate like this in Emerald, where they're still not going to max out the mechanics on Nidalee, that really said something. Now, the next jungler I wanted to mention here, this is Kindred coming in at number 11. So despite you losing Q damage by 10 at each rank, despite you losing cooldown in your Q going up by 1 second, guess what? Your base armor and base HP has been reverted to what it was a couple of patches ago, which is nice. So, alright, I'm losing a little bit of damage early game, but at least I'm going to be unkillable. And then you also have Trinity Force, which even though it got changed, right? Less attack speed in it. Who cares about this, bro? It is ramping up more and quicker. I don't know why they did this. They were going to put a range cap on it, then they completely changed it. So I don't know, man, like if there is someone, like I've said this in multiple videos, someone on the balance team who really wants to hit like E4 or something It's just really weird to me. And even in Emerald Plus, you can see that Kindred's ban rate is over 22%. That's kind of problematic. It's been that way for so long now, so I kind of fear for you Kindred mains out there. I think they're going to keep nerfing the champion, and by the time they actually do nerf Trinity Force, bro, she's just going to be the worst champ in the game. And they do that with so many, so my thoughts go out with you when that actually does happen. But right now, my thoughts don't go out to you. You should be abusing this champion while you still can. Now, starting off the top 10, we've got to go to the top lane here, and this is another champion who got nerfed in 13-14 like Kindred. Bro, who cares if you're playing Jax and your E cooldown is a second higher? Like, who actually cares about this? Late game is still going to be on a really short cooldown, and compared to other big abilities in the top lane, this is pin. Like, if we think about Darius's Apprehend, if we think like about a Fiora parry, in fact, don't even get me started on Fiora, but hopefully you get my point here, right? Like a 15-second cooldown at rank 1 for an ability that is just so powerful, like I think it's pretty dumb. And even though they increased the mana on your ultimate, so it now costs 100 mana to use that bad boy, like no Jax players ever said to themselves recently anyway, wow, I'm so lucky that my ultimate costs 50 mana. You're always gonna have mana, bro. Who cares? So Jax number 10, over a 50% win rate, picked in a lot of games, close to 10,000 matches, one of the most popular top laners, is number 10, yeah? Now moving into the bot lane here for number 9, arguably the best AD carry out of everyone, this is Ashe. So in over 16,000 matches, a 14.7% pick rate, that is, over a 52% win rate. I think Ashe, by the way, guys, is probably the best blind pick AD carry. So once again, blind picks are going to be really important for solo queue because you never know what's going to get picked. So if you're picking someone like Ashe, you don't really have anything to worry about, to be honest. You can do well in every single matchup, and because of the new Trinity Force, like I said for Kindred, it's so broken, bro. There's also some tech out there with Cheap Shot with Ashe, so going something like Kraken Slayer into Trinity Force with Cheap Shot. Bro, with all the recent Ashe buffs, especially to your passive, man, you can pop off like crazy. She's number 9. Now moving back to the top lane here, I mentioned this champion when I was talking about Jax, Fiora. Bro, if I have to mention Jax or Fiora one more time, like, seriously, I'm going to retire from doing this. 50.87% win rate, and her ban rate is close to 20%. So Jax's is over 20%, Fiora is getting very close, though. Man, these two champions, they're always picked and banned. Can we at least have some other champions in here? Please, right. Please, balance team, do something. But yeah, Fiora with Divine Sunderer, guys. If you're going Conqueror, Ghastly Undying, really doesn't matter. Just pick Fiora and you probably win the game. Maybe you have to ban some sort of range champion, but yeah, anyway. Moving into number 7, staying in the top lane. The best top laner, guys, statistically, I actually predicted this, and it wasn't that hard of a prediction, to be honest, because the Buster Aatrox in 13-14 were kind of huge, especially to your Q's damage. I don't know if you guys have played this patch, but if you run into an Aatrox Q, bro, like all your health just disappears. Especially if they're building attack damage, maybe even with Eclipse. Bro, you've got to be so careful of going near this guy. And he's actually like back to being blind pickable. Yes, there are champions that really cuck you. So whether it be like Aurelia, Kled, anyone with really quick gap closing, even something like Rivenride who can dodge all your Qs, you have to be a little bit careful. But he's back to being just blind pickable because he's so OP. Aatrox mains, I'd love you to let me know. And also top lane players, if you've played against Aatrox, and yes, if you've played as Aatrox, let me know in the comments section just how broken you think this guy is. Now moving to number 6, we have Blitzcrank. So the second best support here is the Crank with a 29% ban rate. In Emerald Plus to have over a 52% win rate, pretty good, right? You just have to be careful, I think, guys, are blind picking him because, well, we're going to get into one of the champions that really cucks him soon, but there are other champions like Leona, there's Braum, there's Taric, right? And because the meta is really engaging at the moment, I think it's quite difficult to actually pick Blitzcrank blind pick because there are definite counters who are popular again because of the bot lane meta. But as a counter pick to a mobile bot lanes, bro, there is no one better, which is why his win rate is so good. And that's really because of the buffs towards the end of last season, right? Q's damage going up, even though it got nerfed a little bit in this season, I think. And then you have the ultimate buffs from last season as well. The base damages on these Q and R going up. It's been huge for your all-in, which is what your identity is about. Now, moving into the top 5, the most picked champion in Emerald Plus has been Kai'Sa. Listen to this, over a 43% pick rate, bro. You could expect bans to either Static Shiv or Kai'Sa or both. That is almost triple what the second most popular champion is picked in, that being Rakan from earlier. To have close to a 50.5% pick rate, it speaks volumes to how good Kai'Sa is. Even though Static Shiv got nerfed, you can definitely go this into Nash's Tooth and then something else like Ginsu's Ride, and you shred everyone. Just like I talked about for Blitzcrank just then, the bot lane meta being very engaging, it's amazing for Kai'Sa because you're passive, right? And you synergize a lot better with those engaged supports than you do perhaps in the past where Lulu was picked and Yuumi and all this, right? Milio, you synergize better with the Nautiluses, with the Rels, with the Blitzcranks, etc. So Kai'Sa number 5. But coming in at number 4, guys, is the best AD carry statistically speaking here. And because this champion can go a variety of builds as well that got buffed, so Infinity Edge, for example, giving more crit now. We also have Trinity Force that, to be honest, just got buffed as well. For a champion like Draven, who's kind of versatile in that department, you can abuse these more than anyone. So to have over a 51% win rate in over 8,000 games, close to 9,000, this is definitely OP. Of course, you have to know how to pilot the champion and catch those axes, you know, like time your W and stuff when the axe lands. All that stuff, right, is important. So again, we can teach you how to play Draven in the highest level on our website. But yeah, like I was mentioning, right, if you're going something like Collector into Infinity Edge, you can go Essence Reaver into Infinity Edge, you can still go Trinity Force and whatever else after that. Draven is still unreal. Just be a little bit careful because some champions do very well against you. So something like Samira, right, with a W can stop your axes. Something that's really ranged like Ziggs so that you can never really get onto. And if you do run at him, he just Ws and yeah, you can't do anything. So there are a couple of worries in the bot lane, but bro, he's just so powerful. You should be more than fine. Now, starting off the top 3, guys. Again, another champion who got tickled a little bit in 13-14 as far as getting nerfed. This is Rek'Sai. In over 6,000 games in Emerald Plus to have close to a 54% win rate. Bro, this champion, well done, Riot, for nerfing her. But honestly, like, I think the nerfs were fine, guys, as far as, like, kind of the direction they were going. Like, trying to encourage you to go more bruiser. I think it's good for Rek'Sai. But unfortunately here, they're just not enough. The champion is still so busted with Stride Breaker. And because of the bust in 13-11, man, like, nothing's going to change, right? So Rek'Sai being here, it makes sense, but it's also kind of, I don't want to say disappointing, but yeah, I'd rather see maybe like some more champions come in here. Now moving on to number 2. The only like, I think, new champion I've talked about, which might be surprising to some people, this is Zed mid lane. In over 11,000 matches, over a 50% win rate, right? Now he is banned a lot in over a quarter of the games. But the reason Zed is OP is because of Ravenous Hydra and a W max second. Now that's always been the case really, but I think people are starting to understand just how good this is in terms of wave clearing, scaling, and the engage meta as well is really going to help Zed and every assassin because it offers you setup, right? Zed has no real hard CC, so when you're team fighting right and people are getting stunned and rooted, etc., you can land your W in full combo on them with your ultimate, of course. And I also think with the new Duskblade, Zed is 10 times better because it's such a powerful item these days. So Zed being number 2, I think you do have to probably just straight up ban Lissandra if you're picking this guy. But that's what the stats are saying here, Zed being the second best champion in 13-14 in Emerald Plus. But the number 1 champion, guys, and if you have enjoyed this video, please remember to leave a like down below. It does help us out. And if you don't want to miss any of our future uploads, make sure you hit that subscribe button. The number 1 champion in the game, according to these stats. So I mentioned this champion earlier when I was talking about Blitzcrank, right? Maybe I talked about her when I was talking about Rakan. She does so well in this meta, and that's really because she's so innately broken. And despite getting nerfed in 13-14, Rel is still number 1. Despite losing tankiness in your passive and your base armor going down, who cares about this when you chain CC someone for about 5 seconds to level 1? Now, of course, that's not the case. I'm just trying to make a point here, though, that the CC guys and even gap closing in your kit, it's all still there, bro. So unless you're playing maybe against like a Janna, like I mentioned, someone who might even be playing Poppy, yeah, who's just like holding their W, waiting for you to go in, bro, this champ is nuts. In over 12,500 matches, a 53+% win rate, get me out. So much variety, bro, in this game. But yeah, those were the 15 most broken champions, guys, according to the stats and all the win rates we have. I will see you on our next Season 13 upload. This has been Coach Cheeks. Peace.